Hey everyone. Hey teacups. It's your girl Monica. Welcome back to the All About the Tea channel. Joining me tonight are teacup affiliates, Plez.
Hey,
Plez. I like that. Look at you and the lip color, girl. Magic.
Yesterday, Thick Girl 40 said that the red should be my signature. I said, no, I already have a signature. It's a purple pink ombre. So I'll wear that for y'all tomorrow. You know, I got used to not wearing my lipstick since I'm working from home, but decided to jazz it up a little bit.
Giving us lip, and I love it. It's beautiful. I really like
Thank
it.
you.
We also have Schoolboy on deck. Hey, Schoolboy.
Hey, fresh out the barber chair. I had to hurry up. I was like, come on.
Hey.
No, that's right. And we also have DMV affiliates, Marcella. Hey, Marcella.
How is everybody?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good, my love, my sister. We're doing good. Listen, y'all, we got a lot to get into tonight, a lot to cover. But first and foremost, if you're not subscribed to the channel, I need you to hit that subscribe button down below. If you're already subscribed to the channel, bang that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the piping hot tea that we serve on this channel. And while you're at it, hit that like button. All right, teacups. On the agenda tonight is the real reason Karen Huger hates Wendy Osefo. I'll be exposing Wendy, aka Miss 4 Degrees, and all of her lies. Let's get into it, shall we?
A website called All About the Tea.
She told All About the Tea that during the fight,
all right, y'all, put the kids to bed, get your wine or your tea ready, and sit back because I'm going to be spilling some tea, okay, tonight. I'll be doing a lot of talking. This is a very detailed tea that I'm spilling tonight before the panel chimes in. So I really need y'all to pay close attention. There's a lot of detail, and a lot of backstory. Should we wait a few minutes for Bishop? Is he running late? Let me see. Let me check my inbox over here. No, I don't see anything. Let me just go ahead and get started. Should I go ahead and get started, guys? Go join us when you can. All right. So I'll get started. Do y'all remember when Wendy was tight? I mean, she was pissed off that Karen Huger would not acknowledge knowing her. Y'all remember that, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
She swore up and down that Karen knew her and they knew each other. She even accused Karen of lying. Remember? She had me thinking, who's telling the truth? Is it Karen? Is it Wendy? What is going on here? I mean, I could see why Karen would not want to be associated with Wendy. I could see why. She has an attitude on her and a personality from hell, personally. Okay. Wendy was adamant that she knew Karen and Karen knew her. Well, I did some digging, and woo, Chile, did I uncover the motherload of tea on Miss Wendy. According to a rock solid DMV source, more than one now, actual socialites, people in the circle on the inside, Wendy did not know Karen or Candace prior to filming. Now that's a fact. She did not know them. Let me walk you through the backstory. I need y'all to pay close attention because this is a lot of details, okay? So Wendy is not a DMV socialite. No one knew her in the socialite circle prior to 2018. In 2018, Wendy slid into the DM of DMV socialite Vivian Abakuba. Teacups, you remember me mentioning that RHOP producers were looking at Vivian as a potential castmate for season 6? Remember me mentioning that? Here she is. This is Vivian. Vivian appeared at Candace's anniversary party. That was like the first episode. Y'all remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm gonna add Bishop to the stream. Hey, Bishop.
Hey, how you doing?
Welcome.
Hello, everyone.
Good. So I'm just getting started, Bishop, and we are diving deep into this tea. I need y'all to pay attention, put the kids to bed. Okay, I'll even give y'all a minute to put the kids to bed.
Better tell them, Monica. Listen, Linda.
Yes,
Listen.
Listen, right, girl, because this gets deep, and I need y'all to pay attention. Okay,
Don't get the
and if
belt
you
on.
come in late, that's fine. Just when the video's over, you just rewatch it. You know, because no one has time to be catching y'all up because y'all came in late. What did I miss? Girl, come on.
Wind it back. Come back later.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so y'all remember me mentioning that RHO producers, they have their eyes on Vivian for next season because she's a good catch. Vivian, like I told y'all in a previous video, which I'll link below in the description box, is a fashion designer and the real deal. She's wealthy. She has her own fashion line, big old mansion, luxury cars, a rich husband. Okay. He's a lawyer and a businessman. He's in the oil and gas field. Okay. He almost acts like an ambassador between here and Nigeria, government positions. This man is big time. Okay. Big time player. She's not bowling on a budget like Robin, Candace, and Wendy. Vivian's the real deal. So back in 2018, Wendy slid into Vivian's DMs and hit her with the, hey girl, I'm Nigerian, you're Nigerian, we're both educated, I'm interested in your charity, and I want to come to your fashion show. Okay, slide in the DMs, thirsty as hell. At that time, Vivian thought Wendy was just being friendly. She didn't know that she was a mark, pretty much, right? She didn't realize that Wendy was using her for her DMV contacts and to get into Vivian's exclusive circle of friends. She didn't realize it. So now Vivian, like I said, she's the real deal socialite. She's known Candace for quite some time. And she's been friends with Karen Huger for 17 years. Vivian and Karen's kids attended the same private school together. And Vivian and Karen, they talk often. They're real girlfriends, right? For real. Vivian had no clue Wendy was desperately trying to get on the Real Housewives of Potomac. She didn't know and was looking for a way in because she did not know any of the cast members personally at all, just through what she saw on TV. Now, y'all also remember Wendy saying she had never watched the show. Remember that? Girl, bye. We all knew that was just a bunch of, you know what that was. So let's fast forward to April 2019. Vivian held a fashion show, and that's where Vivian casually introduced Wendy to Karen and Candace. That was their first introduction. It was pretty much a hi and a very dry goodbye, okay? The fashion show was to launch Vivian's charity. It's called Felicia's Fund, and it's a charity that helps disadvantaged young girls around the globe to get an education and empower them to be successful. Vivian is the president of the charity, and Karen Huger is the vice president. At the time, Vivian was appointing her, she's putting the board together, the board of directors, right? And which pretty much consisted of Potomac's high society women, lawyers, doctors, highly educated people, that kind of thing. And naturally, she assumed that Wendy would be a good fit to be on the board because Wendy, has 4 degrees, right? And Wendy is, and the charity is geared towards educating women across the globe. But, oh boy, was Wendy sadly mistaken. Miss Wendy's sole objective was to get into the limelight, take pics with celebrities at these events, and become an RHOP cast member. That was her goal, okay? So we have Karen, Candace, and Wendy on the board of directors for Vivian's charity. Around the same time, Wendy applied to be on RHOP. And everyone knows to be a cast member, you have to have some connection to the cast. You just can't come on there and not know anyone, because it's hard for them, producers, to assimilate and explain to the audience how you know these people. You have to have at least one friend. Are y'all following me? Am I making sense? Comment in the chat. Let me know if you're following what I'm saying. This is very detailed and it's a lot of information. Okay. According to my rock solid source in the DMV, Wendy started acting desperate when she was around these high society women. Let me see how I can say this gently. Let me see. Let me think for a minute. Basically, Wendy lacks social skills. She seemed socially awkward, and she seemed intimidated by the women, is what I've been told. And that was the chatter behind the scenes about Miss Wendy, right? Remember how Wendy swore her and Karen knew each other, and because they sat on the same board? Well, they attended one meeting together. They sure did. And that was a Zoom call, not a face-to-face meeting. And they didn't even interact in that Zoom call, from what I'm being told. Karen and Wendy didn't interact with each other. Vivian was the moderator, and everyone on the board pretty much interacted with Vivian, right? During that Zoom call, they were planning a gala for the foundation in December. Karen said she wanted to head up the committee for organizing the event, and Wendy immediately blurted out that she wanted to be on the organizing committee with Karen. However, okay, Wendy did not attend not one committee meeting because she was kicked off the board. And I'm gonna tell y'all why. After it was discovered that Miss Wendy allegedly stole the foundation celebrity donor list in order to build her own DMV socialite Rolodex. Y'all, now for those in the chat that don't know, a celebrity donor list has monetary value. It's a huge asset to charities. They rely on their donor list to campaign for donations by way of galas and ritzy events, okay? That's a big, big deal. Those donor lists are worth a lot of money. People steal them to go sell it, not to build their own Rolodex. Like, who does that? Allegedly. So after that, she got fired from the board, and they said, we don't want you, goodbye, go. And it wasn't a big old confrontation because, Wendy crazy, right? We see how she acts on the show, very aggressive. And that behavior was recognized by the people involved in the charity, and they said just goodbye. They didn't want to have anything to do with her because she might twist it and say it's something else. Y'all don't like me because I'm dark skinned or whatever. You know what I mean? You never know with her. So they just quietly let her go. And she didn't even get to attend not one committee meeting. So that happened. Then filming started in 2019, September 2019. And the first event was Candace's anniversary party. During that party is where Wendy approached Karen and introduces herself and says to Karen, nice to meet you. They didn't know each other. Y'all can go back and watch the tape. She says, nice to meet you. Karen had no idea who she was. All she knew was Wendy was a new cast member. And I'm being told that Bravo asked Candace to introduce Wendy to the show. They were not friends. They barely knew each other. Candace and Wendy were not friends prior to RHOP. The reason Wendy went so hard for Candace all season, y'all, is to have camera time and ensure she brought enough shenanigans to the screen to be asked back for another season. All right, y'all, please chime in on this. What are your thoughts? The catfish plates. Yeah, this is a catfish. Absolutely. We can call it that. Yeah, Bishop.
Well, social climbing is nothing new, child. I'm glad I have never had the type of personality that felt that desperate need to fit in so much, to go to that level and to those lengths. And what's crazy is she likely didn't even have to go to that level. It may have taken more time, but you can network, you can make genuine connections with people, and then get yourself in those circles. She has the education. Her husband has the education. I'm sure the law firm that he works for is probably well connected if he went to enough galas and banquets. You know, you got to shake the hands and kiss the babies, honey. If you want to fit into that level of society, you got to schmooze with the people. I'm not a good schmoozer. I can admit that, but I also am cool with that. Like I know what I want out of life. And so, one thing that we can always say about Wendy is that she makes goals and she goes after them. I don't necessarily agree with her tactics, but now we understand why Karen was using the words of the scholar Clifford Harris, also known as TITIP for y'all, who may not know who that is, when he said, "You may see me in these streets, but Negro, you don't know me." Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So, because people always want to, I told y'all, she was just like Phaedra coming in, nipping at Nene's heels. I know you. I know you. We're from the same hometown. Girl, y'all are years apart in age. You know of her. Say that. You know of her, but you didn't know her. Y'all didn't go to sleepovers at night. Y'all weren't, eating at the lunch table together. And so, Wendy overplayed her hand, but we saw that. We saw it. We knew Karen wasn't just lying.
Right, exactly. Schoolboy, sound off. What are your thoughts on this piping hot tea and Wendy stealing the donor list? Like, who does that? Are you that desperate? I mean, the thirst is real, child. Real.
I told you on Twitter she was too damn thirsty for my liking. Ain't no way you on the camera that hard for somebody that you don't even know this girl. And like, that's why it kind of, I think it was your article that you put out about what her mom said to her about the friendship with Candace. And I'm like, why would the mom say that if they're supposedly friends? Then why would she say you need to distance yourself or choose your friends? Because clearly I was never friends to begin with. And this just makes no sense. Okay, so you get on the show to steal the donors list, but are you not really thinking about the repercussion and consequences? Because you know how high society is. Once they find out you do something like that, the doors automatically close. You don't get to come back in. You don't get to apologize. You don't get to say nothing because the way you got in was false and you're not received very well. My thing was, you're quote unquote a CNN correspondent. You couldn't get in with Anderson Cooper and all these other people that what's that, Rachel Maddow? You couldn't get in, or they weren't able to, they didn't let you in because you wasn't on there enough.
Exactly. Well, she got in, she got her foot in the door, she had a plan, but then she couldn't execute it well. According to the sources, the chatter was that Wendy is socially awkward. She just didn't fit in, is exactly what I was told. She just didn't fit in. She didn't know what the right things to say. She wasn't friendly. She was standoffish. So, I mean, she had a plan. She just couldn't execute it. Bishop, sound off on this piping hot tea.
With Wendy, I always thought she was she lacked social skills, because the way she went at Ashley, it was like, who goes off like that from 0 to 100 and on a person that they don't even know, and then called her broke, and I'm like, ma'am, like, did you watch the show? Like you try to claim you didn't watch the show, but you're not paying attention too closely. But it shows you that she has the lack of awareness, because I'm like, you're in now. Why do you need to steal this list now? Like what Scuba was saying, once they kick you out, you're out, and then they mark you. So wherever you go, people in different circles, in different chapters, they're gonna be like, don't fool with her. Don't fool with her. Everybody knows each other in these circles. So, you know, she to me, I thank God she got her edges together finally, but it's too late. She should have got them together when she was going around gallivanting, but God bless her, man.
Well, you know, a donor list, like I said, that's someone's intellectual property.
Yeah.
That is major to a charity. And it has all this personal information, and net worths and that addresses, phone numbers of all these rich folks. Marcella, our DMV Teacup affiliate, sound off on this breaking news.
You know, like I told y'all before, I've met Miss Vivian, very high class, very mild, not braggadocious. That was a problem with Wendy, that she was braggadocious. She didn't even fit in with the other Nigerians because of the alleged cult of her family. Wendy was not a woman of empowerment, because if she was, she wouldn't have allowed that between Candace and Monique to continue. She showed everything the opposite. And let me tell you about those donors. The donors, that these people participate in things, they have a list, they know how much money, they know who's going to spend money. And if they want to make a donation, they reach out to these people prior to the event, and they know what these people will give. Like, I would donate $100,000. That's what they already know. And they are able to tally the people on these lists. And so what she did was very unacceptable. And I'm telling you, maybe, and then I would have thought that she might have took that list to build up her husband's law firm, to try to call people and said, you know, somebody told me about you, and I'm just letting y'all know that we offer law, anything legal, and we can help you. So her stealing that list, I'm sure that the organization has gotten out about Eddie and her, and they will not touch them.
You know, I mean, an organization to help disadvantaged girls around the globe, educate them. Miss Wendy, you have 4 degrees. You would think that she would want to use that and add value to the organization. But instead, she was just looking to line her Rolodex. I was just appalled. When I got this tea, I clutched my pearls. I was appalled. I was disgusted. So here's a photo of Miss Vivian at the bottom. She's beautiful. And this was the April 2019 fashion show. And you see Candace up there in that green and some other folks. This is where they announced the launching of the charity Felicia's Fund. After this live, I urge everyone to go to their website. If you can make a donation, please do so, because it's a very good charity and it helps girls in Africa and all over the globe. Here's Candace and her mother at the event. Okay. Now here's the December event that Wendy couldn't attend because she was fired from the board. This is the gala that they were organizing. Karen organized, and here's Karen and Ray having a good time at the gala and enjoying themselves. Here's Miss Wendy on the red carpet at the April 2019 show. She was pregnant at the time. Goodness gracious. I'm going to add So Debonair to the stream. Have you been listening?
What's up?
All I have to say is I am so glad that Juan Dixon is not here right now.
Goodness gracious.
I mean, it's the lies for me, Monica. It's the 4 degrees and I'm a thief for me. Like, it's the thirstiness for me. Like, I just watched her do an interview, and she did just say again that she didn't know none of those girls when she got on that show.
She said that. She admitted?
She just said that. She said that she didn't know anybody. She said she didn't even watch the show.
Well, she watched the show. She was very desperate to get on that show.
Right.
You know, poor Vivian. Vivian is, like Marcella said, she's a beautiful woman, very professional. She is the perfect representation of a Nigerian woman to put on that show. And if they put her on the show next season, it should be Nigeria versus Nigeria, if you ask me. Let it be a battle royale. You know, you're not gonna steal my donor list and get away with it, you heifer. So yeah, they need to bring Vivian on that show to confront Miss Wendy and her lying tail. I absolutely agree. Yeah, this is insane. I couldn't believe it. Well, who am I kidding? Of course I believed it. I mean, but a charity to help girls' education? Something else.
You know, some people just ain't got no bottom. You know, some
Hmm?
people ain't got no bottom. You know, she just one of them people that ain't got no bottom.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Hang out. I'm gonna put you backstage for a minute, so Debonair, and I want to bring on RJ, who's also from the DMV. I want him to chime in on this. Okay. Hey RJ.
Woo! Hey guys.
Hey.
Hi everybody. Oh my goodness gracious.
Mm-mm-mm.
Oh my goodness gracious. Whew. Yes, I've been listening.
And what are your thoughts on Miss Wendy masterminding her way on the show, stealing donor lists, lying, pretending like she knew Candace? And that's why she went so hard for Candace, because she had to have camera time and she needed to align herself with someone and act like, you know, she had a bond with someone. And then that's also why she went so hard against Karen, camera time.
Yeah, you know, first I just want to say Vivian is a phenomenal person.
Mm-hmm.
Very hard at what she does, all about positivity and unity. And I'm just so happy to know her. I'm gonna drop some tea tonight. One of the interesting things is that we were actually invited to that charity event, and Kyle's grandma, she got really, really sick, and Kyle said, "I'm not gonna go," and I was like, "Well, if you're not gonna go, bitch, I'm not gonna go." So we messaged her. Actually, I think I had to message her, and I told her what was going on, and you know, of course, she understood. But we were supposed to be there that night. I wish we were, because it would have been some, you know, some more insight. Uh-oh, somebody, I heard some music.
We're good.
But anyway, so yeah, it was from my understanding that Wendy did not know Miss Candy at all. They had just met that evening. And I don't think Wendy really knew any of the cast members before that night. And also with me knowing pretty much who's on the scene in the African American community here in DC, it's small. She wasn't heavy on the scene at all. And I just found it like it's kind of odd, like someone, I guess, like of her stature and accolades to want to push to be on a reality show like that. You know, it was kind of odd. Like, I can only speak from personal experience. And I'll say this, my sister might not like it, I'm sorry. But my sister is a medical doctor, and she directs 2 major programs in the Washington area. I could not imagine my sister ever trying to push to be on some reality show. It's kind of odd. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you obtain a certain
Right.
amount of,
No.
it's just kind of odd to me.
Right.
And yeah, so because she didn't really know Candace like that, but she met her that night at the charity event, and once she got a slot on the show, because she was not the first choice. Let me just say that she was not the first choice. Okay, they were looking at Vivian, of course, Vivian, obviously, and then also they were looking at one of the African twins from this area. And I'm not going to say her name. Like, Wendy was the last choice. It's no shade, but like, she was the last choice. She's not heavy on the scene here. All the 2 women that I just named, that Nigerian women, they are heavy on this scene. And one, an international philanthropist. So like, Wendy, it was like Wendy. I mean, you know, I kudos. She, you know, she's degreed up. But
Yeah.
like, when it comes to like this scene, it means nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It
Yeah.
means nothing.
Very well said, RJ. Very well said.
Girl,
Yeah.
girl. So like it's
Mm.
given in the eyes of these people, it's given girl. So I can see why she went so heavy with Candace in support of her through thick and thin, because that was her, that was her lifeline.
RJ, what are your thoughts on Miss Wendy allegedly stealing the donor list from Vivian's charity? What are your thoughts on that?
If she did that, man, like she should be banished from
Mm-hmm.
the
How
scene.
tacky is that? That's like stealing from Bloomingdale's or a high piece of jewelry. I mean, it's so embarrassing. Who does that?
I really hope she did not do that, because that
Oh,
will
she did it. She did it.
that
She
will
did it.
tarnish her reputation and career. All of the 4 degrees that she worked so hard for will be nothing but toilet tissue down the drain.
Mm-hmm.
Like, seriously, you don't do that here. You don't do that. You act accordingly.
Yeah.
And
That's like going to a rich person's house at a party and stealing like a nice figurine on the shelf.
She did that.
Like Catherine Dennis did from Southern Charm, but I won't get into that. We ain't gonna talk about all that on this live.
Wait,
that's a whole nother show.
Monica, did you do that for real?
Excuse me? Sorry.
Did she do that for real?
Catherine Dennis? Oh, yeah.
No. Wendy, did she really steal?
The donor list. Yes. The donor list she stole for real. Yes.
What you know? Painted gold?
She stole that donor list. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's why she was fired from the board. After that, they wanted nothing to do with her. So that's why she didn't even make it to the big gala in December 2019, the one where I showed you here, where Karen and Ray Huger are dancing. Aren't they lovely?
Yes. I love them. I love them so much for so many different reasons. But, okay, I really hope that Vivian comes on this show. And I told you I was going to drop some tea. So I spoke with Vivian through text message, and I urged her. I didn't know any, whatever, but I urged her, like all the women that I know that could potentially be on this next season, I urged them not to do it. I could tell you that. I hope that she forgives me. I think she probably will. This is all about the tea, honey, and I can't come on without an arsenal, bitch. So she did not say she wouldn't do it.
You know what? Listen, I can't wrong any of the ladies for doing it. I actually want to see Vivian on there because she's actually rich. She's actually rich.
I want to see
she's in the circle, and that's what the audience wants to see. We're craving it. She's not balling on a budget like Robin and Candace and Giselle. She's not living in a cabin in the woods. She's actually rich. Yeah. And I want to see Nigerian versus Nigerian. I want to see Vivian take Wendy down.
Vivian is the epitome of class. Vivian has been, if you all didn't know, here's some more insight. Vivian has been on Real Housewives of Potomac since it began.
Yeah.
She's in the background, you see her. And she's always there.
Yeah.
And like she told me, I know the inner workings of this. And I was like, word. I was like, don't do it though. She was like, well, RJ, I know the inner workings of this and how it goes. She's a queen.
She's not supporting her man, in terms financially. Her man, he's a lawyer in the oil and gas sector. He almost serves as an ambassador between Nigeria and America. He holds a very high. This man is the real deal. Okay. He's a mover and a shaker in that DMV government area. So RJ, I'm going to put you in the backstage because I want to bring on Dr. EVA, who's also Nigerian. She's an internal medicine doctor. And I want to get some insight from Dr. EVA on Wendy stealing this donor list and Wendy basically being a fraud. Yeah. All right. Hang tight. Okay.
Oh my gosh. Hey, everyone.
Doctor. The doctor's in the Hey.
Hey, guys.
Hey, I'm in on this piping hot tea. What are your thoughts?
Monica. Oh my gosh. Okay. Where do I even begin? Okay. First of all, we have to remember Okay, Dr. Wendy just had a baby. I don't know if she's new to the area or not. She's a professor at the Johns Hopkins University. So, you know what? She's probably going through a lot of changes. I just have to defend her to some extent. You know, she's probably going through a lot of changes as a young woman, married, has a lot of responsibilities, and she probably does want to connect with other women. I mean, she just had a baby girl, and it's just different if you're, you know, surrounded by a bunch of men in your household. That's what I think. That's number one. Number two, you know what? If she's trying to make friends, just make friends. Just say, you know what? Hey, let's be friends. You know, like in elementary school, all this masterminding, you know, and I don't know what to say. But I do, the more and more you guys talk about Vivian, I want to meet her. Let me tell you, in the
I already
Nigerian
told her
culture,
about you.
these fashion
You
designers
two have to meet up. You two have to meet up. Yeah, I already listen. Dr. Dr. EVA, you know how I feel about you. And I hold you in a high regard because
oh,
first
you're
of all,
so
I'm in love
sweet.
with your spirit, right? You have the kindest and
Oh, so
most
sweet.
genuine spirit that I've had come across in a long time. So, and then on top of it, you're super intelligent.
Oh,
You can teach women too.
thank you. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You can uplift me. I'm gonna be honest. There are times where I've moved to a new area and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need a new group of friends. Like I need, you know, I would approach people on the street and be like, I like your hair. Who did your hair? Like, can you tell me your? And we make friends from that. Or, you know, it's hard. It's hard. Now, Vivian, let me tell you something about these fashion designers in the Nigerian community. They are fabulous. They are fabulous. I know I'm close with my designer. I have a tailor slash designer in Nigeria actually, and you know what? Yeah, and they know all, you know, they know all the tea. They know everything. So she probably has like an incredible personality. Now, I will say I want to see more Nigerians on reality TV. So if Wendy stays on and Vivian comes on or some other Nigerian, I would have to see that. Just because there's just going to be drama built into the whole situation. I don't want to see fighting, but I want to see Nigerians interact. So,
and I want a real Nigerian, someone who's connected to their roots, who actually goes to Nigeria 3 to 4 times a year, that actually knows what tribe they're from. Okay, you ask Wendy and the husband what part of their tribe that they're from. They don't know. They don't know. I want someone that the cameras can follow to Nigeria. We can meet.
You know what? Also, okay, about the whole looks thing, it does take a little bit of time for these housewives to get adjusted. The first 2 seasons, they're getting ready aesthetically. Everyone knows that.
Right. Absolutely. You're so kind. I just love you. Can they bring you on the show? I mean, you and Vivian. I mean,
sorry, I don't know if I just like. I don't know if I
maybe you should hold an intervention from Miss Wendy and sit her down.
I'm supporting Wendy. I support her. I want to see Vivian on the show, and yeah, we'll see what happens. But all this other stuff, I hope isn't really true.
Yeah. All right, Miss Dr. EVA.
Marcel, what do you think?
Marcel, you're on mute, honey. Take yourself. Oh, let me see.
Oh. I know Vivian, and Vivian is so kind. I can't even imagine her going back and forth with Wendy's. And you must pull up her designs. They are elegant. She's a world traveler. She helps people in this country as well as her own country. And I cannot, Miss Vivian has always been on the Housewives. And when the drama starts, she always moves away. And she has your voice, Dr. Evie. She's so kind. When I tell you she's so kind and beautiful, and she wears her country's ensemble. I mean, she is beautiful. We did an interview with her on the Black Socialites as well, and she was willing to donate to people that we wanted her to donate to, and it had nothing to do with her organization. It was just the type of woman that she is. And she, when I say she's a world traveler, she wouldn't have been like Wendy guessing where the group trip was from the flag. She would have knew what the flag was.
Okay, you know what? She sounds like an incredible woman, and I mean, I will definitely be following her for sure. Oh my gosh.
Check her out.
Okay.
Dr. EVA, thank you, my love. Thank you for chiming in on this. When I got this tea, you know, I said, I need you to chime in on it because it's so mind-blowing to me.
Yeah.
Wendy's an enigma to me. She's one of those people that we just need to study her brain after she's gone. I want to dissect everything in there. It's just a lot. She's a lot. She's a handful. She really is.
Yeah, I think it goes back to being an academic and being a perfectionist. You know, everybody doesn't identify with their struggle, but I can tell you I identify with it. Like socially awkwardness and having social anxiety in this country is something that's often laughed about and joked about. But the key is therapy, and it all goes back to her being insecure with her mother, her family, and wanting recognition. And so when you want that so much and you don't find that internally, then some people unfortunately are willing to go to any lengths to get it. You know, but the key to all of that is just being solid in yourself. Has she gone in to the charity and did the work and was passionate about the work, that would have drawn so many people naturally into her. They would have been like, oh, wow, you're an asset to this team. You bring so much because those degrees aren't empty. I'm sure she's very smart. You know, her commentating work, that's a natural lend to a charity if she worked it right, but it's not going to happen overnight. And that's what she wanted. She wanted the quick end. So you know that just stealing a list like that is just allegedly, it's horrible if that's what she really did. Because I mean, what are you gonna do? How you gonna lie and call these people? What else say you got their numbers from?
She probably looked them up on Instagram, see what event maybe they might be going to, and try to show up there or call them up and say, hey, I know Vivian and I met you at the gala, last month. And don't you remember meeting me? I'm Dr. Wendy Osefo. Her spirit ain't right. I don't care how smart she is. If your spirit ain't right, nothing will fall into line. Love is the main component that we all need within us first.
Like Lauryn Hill said, how you gonna win if you ain't right within?
Right.
And like
those charity events, those
Mhm.
charity events, they have a guest list at the door, and it is not checked once, twice, but thrice. And she wouldn't have, I don't care how she was dressed, she wouldn't have got in there because, like I said, those things are exclusive and they know what money you're going to drop before you even go through to sit down there and eat their marvelous food. She wouldn't have got into none of that because you must
Can't
be
you
on
see her just going off and acting crazy at the door and saying, y'all doing this because I'm dark skinned. I'm Dr. Wendy. Double check that list. I could just see her acting crazy until they let her in. They're like, all right, ma'am. All right. Okay. Just let her in. Just let her in. Speaking of Vivian's fashion, let's take a look.
All right now. Come on, Vivian.
Look at this queen.
She made that. She made that.
Girl, I'm finna slide in Vivian's DMs myself when I get the rest of this weight off. Come on, Vivian. I need that.
You need a custom fit, right? Miss Vivian, this is couture. I mean, this woman is the epitome of style and grace. Look at her.
Jeez.
Is that a real bag? Because Kenya Moore like to be carrying fake bags.
Ooh. Vivian got the real bag. She got the real coin. She's not living in a ditch. She got the real coin.
Did you say she's not living in a ditch?
This was from one of Vivian's fashion shows, their custom pieces, and it's her mother's name that's on these dresses. Her mother inspired this particular design, and it's fabulous. Fabulous.
That
Oh,
the eye means something. The eye on those bags, it has a very history to her family in Nigeria. The eyes on those bags.
Dr. EVA, I won't keep you because I know you're a very busy woman, but thank you so much for chiming in and joining us tonight. Y'all, Dr. EVA is a teacup, okay? We have teacups, like I said, far and wide in all levels of society, in all professions. And she's just the calming spirit that this chat needs at times. Thank you. We love you. We
Guys,
appreciate
can you
you.
hear me?
Yeah, we can.
We can hear you.
Okay, sorry. Sometimes I have a little technical difficulty. You know what? The whole social awkwardness thing, that there may be a little something to it. It's okay. It takes time. But I remember thinking when she was on the show saying, "Oh yeah, I'm not sure I want to be a teacher." I was like, "Oh, this whole storyline I don't think is real, because in what world can you like go on national television and say the job that you're working in you no longer want, and then still keep that job?"
Right. But they know she's crazy. They know she's crazy,
before the show started. She's just, like drawing out the process and talking with her mom and talking with her husband. And I was just like, oh yeah, she's definitely quitting. So I was shocked when on the reunion she said, yeah, I'm still at the Johns Hopkins University. So hopefully Bishop. So, I'll be your friend, Wendy. I'll be your friend.
Thank you, Dr. EVA.
No, don't do it. Don't do it.
I don't think she can hear me. All right, y'all. This is a mess. It's a mess. Thank you so much, Dr. Evie. I don't think you could hear me when I was speaking. Might have been some sort of issue with your audio. Bye, my love. Bye. Okay. Goodness gracious. Y'all turn your cameras on, because I've been getting some emails from people saying that, people do all kinds of stuff sometimes. They bomb your lives. So if you want to get on, you have to turn your cameras on so I can know you're actually a person. And if not, I'm going to have to remove you from the backstage. Okay.
Come on, Kristen.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
My love, do you have anything else to add to this discussion when it comes to Wendy specifically, the lies that she told and this donor list that she stole specifically?
I'm just in shock. Like, when you told me that, like, she really did do it, I was just like, I'm still in shock. I'm still trying to process that, because that's a no. Like, first of all, you steal, so you're a thief, and then you stole like the donors list. Like, you're done. Like, at least on this scene, nobody's gonna want to deal with you, because they're not gonna be able to trust you.
Absolutely. Her reputation is soiled, whatever she had left of it, because, when she was in that circle, I was told people weren't impressed with her. Just like Karen said, I'm just not impressed. She wasn't far-fetched. That seems to be the consensus and the chatter behind the scenes with a lot of people, a lot of the socialites.
Yeah, it's just like, dog, like, don't think like you can come to this area and be queen because you have like all of these accolades. It does not work that way in these social circles. Like I said, they would look at you like, okay, girl, what are you bringing to the table? Where's the guap? Are we going to France? Can you come tomorrow? Because that's what my family's about to do. Like, girl, like, it's a whole nother level. So be prepared for it.
Right.
But you should have got some classes entered into the chat. That's all I got to say.
Well, she calmed away on that show, and next season, like I told you guys in a previous video, which I'll link down below in the description box, the producers are ready to put Wendy on blast. The Wendy that we saw in her first season is not going to be the Wendy that we see in her second season, her sophomore season.
Yeah.
She's very aggressive behind the scenes, especially with her husband. So we're going to see maybe a lot more of that situation. They're not going to protect her and edit her to make her seem like she's Miss Susie Homemaker when she really isn't.
I hope they bring that assistant on the show.
Monica, you have to use your words. We can't say the A word.
Associated with dark-skinned women, we're not supposed to do that. The history that's shown us.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I can't give you a word to say, but you got to say something different.
Violent. I'll say violent. How about violent? That falls as a synonym of aggressive. I'll just say violent. RJ, sweetheart, I know you ran on this live right after work, and I thank you so much, but I wanted your input. Folks, make sure you follow RJ on Instagram. Where else can they find you, RJ?
So I'm now in YouTube land. I'm still nervous about it, but I'm on there. So just like my IG, RJ.Allen, my YouTube is RJ, not with the dot Allen. So just RJ Allen clumped together, and subscribe and hit thumbs up on the video. I'm gonna be posting some more things soon, but like I said, new to me. So I'm taking it easy because everything happens so quickly. So that's where you can find me.
Awesome. Y'all can follow RJ.
One more thing. Sorry, Monica. One more thing. I would like to just give a huge shout out and love and support to all of my African brothers and sisters and the Nigerian community, because my mom is married to a wonderful Nigerian man, and I have a lot of Nigerian blood. And yeah, shout out to all of y'all. I love y'all.
We love you too, RJ. You have a great evening. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Bye. Bye. Hugs and kisses. I'm going to bring So Debonair back in. Oh, my goodness, y'all. The chat's going crazy. I mean, and the consensus is the same. They're appalled at her behavior. Disgusted.
Not a Decepticon.
And I'm a little upset because now she bringing back that stigma of Nigerians being scammers. I'm upset about that.
We love you too, Dr. EVA. Thank you.
We love your smile.
What you saying, Bishop? You saying Wendy gonna be in the Donna Liz's Facebook messaging?
with them terrible
I hope she don't end up on American Greed with one of them Ponzi schemes.
Ooh.
I think that speaks volumes of Karen for not exposing her for that on that season, though.
And Karen was sweet about it too, because she even said it's unethical, and she said, I don't even want to go there, but if she want to go there, I'll take it there. When she said on Wendy Williams, and I said, I'm here for it. Come on, let's get it.
And unethical meaning, something like stealing a donor list. That is highly unethical and borderline criminal. Because like I said, a donor list holds monetary value. Do you know how people would kill for those donor lists, these charities, because they rely on them. And for you to violate the trust of Vivian like that is just unacceptable. They need to go ahead and bring Vivian on for the next season and let it be Nigerian versus Nigerian. I want to see a showdown. I really do.
The Clash of the Titans.
She trifling for that. She trifling for real. She called somebody else. Her and Candace let her call somebody trash, but they that's real trash. That's real trash.
I mean, to think of the big deal they made about her fighting last season, and she's still in, like, that's.
Well, what happened is that fight pretty much altered the course of the entire season. So that's all they could focus on. It was nothing else, left. You know what I want to dive into? An exclusive story that I broke on my website. I hadn't covered it on YouTube. Other YouTubers covered it, but it involves Wendy, and I want to dive into this a little bit. So I am going to share my screen so you can see it. Okay, pull it up right here. Can y'all see that? Wendy Osefo's Nigerian family cursed, shunned by villagers, plus her massive debt exposed. Y'all remember this story?
Mm-hmm.
It actually broke on my website back in October, and the internet erupted.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just go ahead and read it. Wendy Osefo loves to sing her academic praises on the Real Housewives of Potomac, but the Bravo freshman can't say the same about her relationship with her in-laws. Wendy Osefo explained in an episode earlier this season that she and her husband were estranged from his family. Okay, I don't need to read that part. An in-law of Wendy reached out to allaboutthetea.com, giving insight into the beef between the couple and Eddie's estranged parents. This picture pissed a lot of people off. I'll tell y'all, by the way. I got emails about that picture. So according to the source, and I quote, Wendy's family is the Western equivalent of the wrong side of the tracks. Her family and their ancestors have had bad reputations because of evils stemming from past generations. They are Asuyu, essentially cursed. My goodness, not cursed. Okay. Asu families are avoided by non-Asu people. Traditionally, when couple decides to get married, both sides must trace back their lineage to ensure that they are from good stock and not Asu cursed, explained the Family Insider. Proceeding with a marriage despite the discovery of Asu lineage is not merely marrying down, but effectively destroying your family, their reputation, and limiting the social mobility of any future children. Now, I'll leave a link down below. You guys can go read it. It goes on and on and on. Let me skip to this, the debt part. The insider went on to claim that Wendy's prestigious career credits and luxury lifestyle featured on the Real Housewives of Potomac are teetering on mounds of debt. And I quote, Wendy needs that Bravo check. Dr. Wendy is one of the lowest paid part-time professors at Johns Hopkins. They were renting for 8 years after they got married. Then production expressed interest in the heifer. And they finally bought a house. The source added that public records show that Wendy bought a home in June 2019. Okay. She applied to get on that show around, in April. Nowhere near Potomac for $695K and financed nearly all of it between two loans. Wendy and Eddie have over $1.5 million in student loan debt, our snitch alleged. Wendy is lying about how successful and accomplished she really is. Her husband is in the same boat, bachelor's, master's, law, and doctorate degrees, but hasn't taken a case to trial in years. The source also claimed that the couple begged to have their wedding Photoshop showcased in Ebony magazine in 2011 and sold the images for a measly $750. My goodness. And I'll link this story down below. But it is something else, child. Plaz, are you there? Chime in.
I think I've said it all. She wants to be in a certain segment of society, and she is willing to use whatever she got to get what she wants. And I hate to see it because, your hard work, kind of like what Dr. EVA was saying, your gifts and your talents will make room for you at the appropriate and appointed time. Like you can't force anything. And when you force things, this is the type of crap that happens. Like it would be much better to be an esteemed professor living a quiet life, hopefully paying down your debt, and then ascending the ranks some of these connections can be made organically. Like people try to tell you, oh, they'll never accept you. That's not necessarily true. Sometimes, again, if you show up and do the work and show how much you're an asset, some of those doors will open. But this is not, I hope this is a cautionary tale for anybody that's watching, child. This is not the way to do it. This is embarrassing.
Yeah, I guess she's insecure about her own talents and she feels it's not good enough and she has to put on airs and do all this extra stuff to be accepted. It's rather sad if you ask me. So Debonair, sound off on this tea. Like I said, I published that story in October 2020, but I never talked about it on YouTube. So that's why I'm inserting it in this live as well. For those that are saying, that's OT, yes, we know.
I just think that it's really sad. I mean, for her to be trying to build this name and then you go on national television and basically what happens when you go on these shows, they start picking and prying into your life. And so now not only are you going, like you were talking about your mom, the pride that your mom has in you now, like she's about to be a total disgrace to her mother now. And all this stuff that's coming out about her, if it's really true, I really don't know like what her point is. It almost seems like she's being vindictive towards her mother, and maybe she has some kind of like she really wants that detachment from her for having to feel like she's living her life for her or something. Because honestly, this doesn't make any sense to me. Why people get on national TV and do all this?
Adrian made a good comment. She said she's not esteemed. She's an adjunct professor. Anyone can be an adjunct professor. So 4 degrees to become an adjunct, make it make sense. Oh, you can have 4 degrees and not be smart. If that makes any sense. You don't have raw intelligence.
No, I'm sorry, Adrian, you're wrong. Unless she was demoted, I'm looking at the website. She's an assistant professor. She's not an adjunct. The lady is on the staff, y'all.
I think she means she's not tenured. She's not a tenured professor. So that means she's like lower on the totem pole.
Well, yeah, but everybody starts out that way. Tenure just means you've been there for so many years. It's like a law firm making somebody partner. You do have to put in your time, but that's what I mean. If she had played her role and put in her time, tenure will come. But she's not. Assistant and adjunct are too many different things. Like adjunct is like part-time at night, that kind of thing. She's an assistant professor. Let's give her correct title.
But they can get rid of her at any time, right? Because she doesn't have the time that she hasn't put in.
Yeah, she just got her PhD, I think maybe in like 2017 or something. So yeah, you have to put in so many years before you can be considered up for tenure.
And what about being liked though amongst your peers? Doesn't that count for something?
Absolutely. But we also have to, people don't like to talk about it, but let's talk about it. Like, it's not just being liked. I mean, I haven't gone through the faculty list at the Johns Hopkins University, but there aren't a lot of Black people or African people or whatever, minorities with PhDs. And a lot of these institutions do have quotas and things that they have to meet. So, for people to say, oh, they're going to fire her, not necessarily, because you don't know how many other people that are lining up to fill her shoes. And if she is one of, I don't know, 2 or 3 minorities there, they're not going to just get rid of her overnight because they need her just like she needs them.
I can't even imagine taking a class with Wendy at the helm or just being anywhere in the classroom. Her energy just alone makes me want to throw up. Schoolboy, sound off on that report that I reported back in October about her family being cursed. Do you think that's part of her makeup that affects her psychologically, being from a cursed lineage?
And I also wanted to reply to what Ples said. Johns Hopkins is one of the #1 hospitals in the country that you can ever get into. And I will say this, they have international students of all shapes, sizes, colors. So I don't think it's necessarily that, oh, it's one or two, because there's a lot of different I mean, that's one of these schools to go to. And then right down near there, you have the School of Dentistry in Maryland, which is a really high esteemed school. So I don't think it's necessarily that. I think, you know, unfortunately, I went to school with people like that too. They're very, very intellectually smart, but to be able to have conversation, they're standoffish and they're awkward. Also with her lineage, I think lineage may be part of it, but I also think that Wendy got some eternal things that she's struggling with. So that makes it hard for you to be able to be social and be comfortable in your own skin and be confident, because most people that have degrees and they're very well accomplished and they're very, very well educated, they don't have to tell nobody that they're educated, because when they speak, it speaks volumes for them.
Exactly.
And then if people are having that conversation, they might ask, oh, well, hey, what do you do for a living? And then they'll say, oh, well, I do this, that, and the third. And then they'll say, oh, okay. Oh, wow. When did you get that? I said, people will just interact naturally and it will flow. You can tell that Wendy is very, very insecure. And when you had that picture that one time showing like how her foundation was like 6 shades lighter than her actual skin, I think also she has issues with herself as far as appearance, not really loving herself. I think also with the mama putting that much pressure, like culturally, I get it. Haitians, Nigerians, any other country or any other nationality, they typically have they go harder on their kids because they look at it like this. America's a land of the opportunity. Americans don't take advantage of all the things that they have available to them the way they do when they come to this country, because they don't have half of these options. So I think that also too. And then, you know, hey, Eddie's family don't care for her. She don't fit there. So she's got a lot of, I don't want to say demons that she got to deal with. And until she really gets, get some therapy, therapy ain't, terrible. Black people, I just want us to get some therapy. It helps. If she gets some therapy, I think it would help with the social awkwardness. But you got to be willing to hold yourself accountable, and you got to know when to tap in and have a partner that's going to be accountable. And I think Eddie too damn scared to say anything, because he probably afraid she going to bust him upside the daggone head with something in the house, because she just looks that aggressive. And unfortunately, it's a catch-22 for him. Like I said, I do feel sorry, for her. But at the same time, how old are you? When are you going to be tired of living that way and being that way?
Well said.
I just want to clarify something. So faculty and people going to the school are two different things. Like, to be on the faculty level, you have to be a PhD, and you have to have it in whatever concentration that they need to teach the students. So she may very well be in a niche where it's hard to find qualified people with PhDs in her area. And because she graduated from there, that will always give her a foot in the door. When I was in New Orleans, looking at Tulane and Loyola and other law schools, when you graduate from there, they'll hire you before they hire anybody else, because they know you matriculated there. They can trust what they taught you. So again, I mean, we don't have to get into a debate about it. All I'm saying is, she's not an adjunct. She is an assistant, and she's not tenured yet because she hasn't put in the adequate time to get tenured. She may very well become tenured if she chooses to stay.
Right. And I understand what you're saying. It's just that I've worked near there, and I do have been around there and have seen a lot of the faculty and stuff like that. And when I work downtown, there is a lot of faculty that is in different nationalities and different tenures and different junctures. And yes, I totally get exactly where you're coming from. And she may be whatever she teaches. I don't know what she teaches. What she may teach might be a niche for what she teaches. It might be something totally different than what any of the other races of faculty teach. I don't really know what she teaches.
Good points. I want to add Shanrita to the chat. Hey, boo. Chime in. I know you got a lot to say on this piping hot tea.
Hey, y'all.
Hey.
Listen, I just want to blow through real quick to say this. I'm not surprised at the news about Wendy. I'm not surprised at all. And the reason I'm not surprised is that it explains so much as to why she had so much venom toward Karen. She wanted Karen to help her cover her crap. She knew she didn't know Karen, just like she didn't know any of the rest of them.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know who said it. I heard someone make mention of the fact that she was acting so high and mighty about them getting in the fight, but you a whole thief out here in these streets. You got sticky fingers.
A fraud.
And I definitely want Miss Vivian, right. And I definitely want Miss Vivian to be on the show so that way she can give a respectable and respectful representation of African women on American television. That's what I want to see. And me get the door.
Absolutely. I'm 100% with you on that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she got sticky fingers. And I think it's going to be really good. Some of those fallacies that she likes to put across and pretend like they're valid. Oh, it's because of culture. Miss Vivian will be able to dispel some of that garbage too. Because Wendy is full of crap. And of course, we can't validate or prove that she is Osu. And I don't want to make that accusation, but it would explain a whole lot, especially the thievery.
Ooh, child. Ooh. Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah. So I got 3 words for Miss Wendy Osefo. Techie, techie, techie.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing she brought to Potomac was theft, lies, bad foundation, and then buzzard claws she calls hands. That's all she brought.
How about some edges? She brought some edges too.
But now, okay, you know what? I'm glad you brought that up because I want to speak on that. Okay. That's one of those things that I felt like would have been a fun thing to introduce because a lot of Igbo ladies have that hairline. A lot of them. Oh. My mom has a hairline that's just that, raggedy. You know what I'm saying? Them hairlines get a little raggedy. And a lot of things are genetic and there's nothing wrong with it. She just needed to, get a little thread and, run past some thread. It would have been all right. You know what I'm saying? But, anybody who would put terracotta clay on their face for foundation would definitely not go get threaded, which, that's neither here nor there. But just like we know certain things about other cultures, stereotypical things, we may say, oh, Polish people may have large noses or Russian people in their ears or, different things. Like that's something that she could have brought and people would have really enjoyed, but she was too busy being fraudulent because she's a liar and a fraud and she got sticky fingers. So I think we'll all be very, very happy to get that breath of fresh air that is Miss Vivian.
Mm-hmm. And can we talk about when she called Monique? You said she called her and she thought, "Girl, I understand why you have to do that to such and such." Now, come on, now you talk about your fighting history.
Well, Bishop, I'm gonna tell you what my mama told me: scratch a lie, find a thief. Hello, good night.
But it was okay. This is some tea. I'm going to go ahead and spill. It was revealed. Right now. It was revealed backstage fight when someone brought that up, like, oh, your wife said, back in high school, she used to get down. They was like, get down, fight? No. Wendy never had a fight in her entire life. Child, it's just a fraud all around.
She is such a liar. Like, first of all, you can look at them weak shoulders and that chin and tell she ain't been in no fights.
Her reaction to the fight, all that screaming and running. I mean, she literally had a PTSD moment at the fight. Mm-hmm. Maybe she got beat up.
Yeah.
In fight, but she was scrapping and whooping no behind and tail.
No. First of all, Monica, ain't nobody built like an earthworm whooping nobody.
Nobody. Baby, terracotta clay and earthworm done did it for me.
I'm just telling the truth. Listen,
I'm gonna call you later, girl. I'm gonna call you later.
Flag on play.
Bye, girl.
Bye, love. I love you. Bye.
Love y'all back.
She just cracks me up. Marcella, chime in, honey, because I know you've been sitting there very quiet. Chime in.
I'm gonna chime in, y'all, to say that remember when Karen said on the episode they were sitting out at Monique's river house that Wendy is a floater? She's a floater. Remember she said that? Well,
Uh-huh.
I know this for a fact that Wendy doesn't like work prime time like for CNN, NBC. She comes when other people can't come to work. That's the
Mm-hmm.
floater. And then what she does at John Hopkins, she teaches other doctors, that's the doctor and candidates for the test. She helps them with the test and she assists the professor. That's what she do. But you knew when Wendy was trying so hard when she was wearing the Gucci and the different name brands all at one time trying to look like money.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you, most of the people, they wear natural clothing, especially when you're in college or something. You don't dress up with all these name brands. These are students with t-shirts on, jeans, and slippers that they come to class in. But let me tell you about the you had asked about her. Yeah, I can't remember now. You had asked about something about her color. You can tell like she's trying to dye her skin, which
Mm-hmm.
you can see that in her mom. And Nigerian, like I know Miss Vivian. Miss Vivian is into her children's education, helping them herself with her children. And and Wendy got her mother as the person in the home helping. And she also said that she did not want to have these accomplishments. She did it for her mother. But the big thing that tripped me out is that she wanted to let everybody know that her father came to America and got the culture and that he worked at Wendy's and that's how she got that name. Well, I'm glad he didn't work at Taco Bell. I'm just I'm
Quesadilla.
very I'm very happy that he didn't work in any fast food restaurant. She just came on so hard, and I predict that Wendy will come back with breasts next year. When they start filming again, I believe Wendy is going to get breasts. That she's going to try to keep up with the Joneses. But I do have it on good authority that she did not buy that home she's living in. I I I I have it on good. I shared this with Monica months ago. She's renting that, and for someone worth $1.5 million, and she has $1.5 million in debt. She's taking what she owes to say that's what she's worth. Y'all check it out. She has 1.5 in debt. She's worth 1.5. So if you got $1.5 million, why wouldn't you take the 500,000 and put it on your bills? Come on now. And to buy a house for 675 and have an 80/20 loan, that is crazy. A 80/20. That means you got two mortgage companies that have your loan. That means they did not qualify with one mortgage company. But soon, Monica is gonna come out with that big T about her husband, and I can't wait for y'all to sip on it. I'm telling you, this lady is a fake fraud, and y'all gonna see that she's not gonna handle Vivian get on that show because she knows that Vivian know all about her. She will be running from Vivian because Vivian will say in a sly voice, "You remember you stole my list?" And Vivian is not gonna raise her voice. It's gonna get ugly. It's going to get ugly on that show. She's going to run. But she said that she was afraid that the target was going to be on her back next year. Y'all do not know.
Yeah.
Y'all do not know the big target that's on her now. Now, let me tell you about her family. When she said to Eddie, are you inviting your mom to our daughters? It's an American christening. And they didn't even respond to him. Y'all know that there is something that about her. Her family is cursed and they cannot deal with not even their children because allegedly the children are cursed as well. I mean, when y'all read about it now, when she's cursed, they cannot have anything to do with the children. Y'all know they didn't do this for their first two sons. The parents have never met the two sons either. None of the kids. The family is cursed.
Explain why they don't want anything to do with her. I mean, she is literally, like they said, the modern day wrong side of the tracks. This is a travesty, y'all. This is, oh my goodness. So, Debonair, I won't keep you because I want to bring some other people on, some callers we have on the backstage. But thank you for, adding your commentary tonight. Where can they find you?
You guys can find me at So Debonair on all social media. That's Debonair with no O. I'm actually going to be uploading my first YouTube video tomorrow. So,
yay! We can't wait. Y'all need to go follow So Debonair and his fine self. All right. You have a great night, sweetheart. Bye. I really like him.
Do y'all think Candace Candace will turn on her next year?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
He's not friends with Wendy. They're not friends. They're not friends. Giselle, Robin, and Candace will need a target, and Candace will do anything in her power to make sure Giselle and Robin don't target her. So she'll gang up with them and go against Wendy. They don't know Wendy. They have no allegiance to her. And based
they're
on
hanging out together now. They spent Christmas together.
That's all fake. That's all fake. Yeah. Wendy is forcing herself on these people. They really don't like her. She doesn't fit in. Okay, I'm going to add Levon Gittens. Hi, Levon.
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
We hear a noise in the back. Is that a fan?
Oh, my window's open. It's not.
We can hear all of it.
Is that better?
I still hear it. Do y'all hear it?
I hear a fan.
Yeah.
It's like a microphone sound.
What about now?
It's better.
Much better.
Yes. Okay. Perfect. So yeah, I just wanted to say, basically, when I first heard this news, I said, of course, you know what I mean? The way Wendy be slithering around, how she do in everybody's business. I wasn't surprised to hear that she slithered her way onto the show. Since she's been on the show, I sort of feel like everything has been sort of an act. A bunch of just rehearsed reads. Like the way she just sort of went at Ashley and she was like, it's Dr. Wendy for people like you. And my baby deserved to be here too. My baby deserved to be included. I was just sitting there like, well, how long you been waiting to use that line? Like you've been sitting on that waiting to use it on somebody. Like how long was you waiting to do that for? So like this whole thing just made me really feel like she was worried about her reputation because she also went after bloggers. She's so concerned about what people think about her. And I think that's her downfall. She's so worried about what Giselle thinks about her. She's so worried about what, everyone thinks about her, even little bloggers. I feel like she tried to come on the show and tried to make this character, this Omarosa type character. But unfortunately, I think she missed the mark. She will never be someone like Omarosa because Omarosa is wrong and strong and she can stand on her own. Well, unfortunately for Wendy, I don't believe she can stand on her own. She seems to thrive off the attention of others. She needs validation from others, so much so that she will throw it in your face and slap you with it. 4 degrees, 4 degrees, 4 degrees. Like it just was too much. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So when it comes to her being cursed, lastly, you know what? I said, of course, too. And the reason I say, of course, is because just like you said, Schoolboy, when you're dealing with all these demons and evil spirits, you're going to be defensive. So that's why, she wants to lash out on people for no reason. Like, why my baby can't come? Well, girl, did you ask? Did you ask? Why are you mad? Did you ask? You're so defensive because you're battling with yourself. So I think before you go on reality TV, you need to really do some self-evaluation and really think about how am I going to feel if some stuff comes out about me, because it eventually will. So I don't think that she did that, but maybe that could be part of the curse. But who knows?
I couldn't agree with that anymore. That's a great assessment of her.
Thank you.
It seemed like she was bothered internally, right? Some demons in her or some things that she emotionally or mentally had to figure out. But the way we saw her cozying up to Giselle, didn't know Giselle, Robin, kissing Candace's ass makes sense. How she was acting amongst Vivian in high society, right? I could see it. Right, totally.
Trying to get in with Karen, and Karen's like,
I don't.
Wait.
Karen was not impressed because of her unethical, quote unquote, behavior. Now, this tea just proves Karen was not lying. Karen really did not know this woman. They were on one Zoom call, that first board of directors meeting, where they were picking committees to plan this gala, this big gala. As soon as Karen said, I want to head up the organizing committee, Wendy says, oh, I want to be on the, pick me. I want to be on the organizing committee too. It's just sad. It really is. And then you get fired after that and you can't even go to the gala. It's sad.
Monica done called the girl a pick me. Not a pick me, Monica.
Oh my goodness.
I just hope that she is saving her money, because I don't know how long her reality TV show career is going to last, especially handling herself like this. You know, I don't think that she's going to be on for more than 2 or 3 seasons, being such of a weak person. I think that curse might kick in, but she better fix herself and come back next season twice as hard or twice as soft. But pick a side. Show us who you are. Stop putting on an act.
I think when she come back for the 7th season, she's gonna be an ashy feline cat. I guarantee y'all, she's gonna be light skinned. I'm telling y'all, she's gonna come in like a whole new person.
I wonder, are they gonna qualify for the $10,000 they're taking off people's student loan debt? Because you know they got about 1.5. I'm just asking.
Help them, Lord.
They'll qualify, but it ain't gonna help.
You know, go ahead and give them a little $10,000 off. You know, that'll help them out.
Well, the government just put like temporary suspended student loan, the interest on student loans. I know they did for a little bit of time, so she got a little break there. I know she was happy and relieved.
You're right.
But she's probably on an income-driven repayment plan.
Probably. She probably is, child. This is just, I'm just so happy I was able to spill this tea to the teacups, because y'all deserve it. You need to know the truth behind the scams and the frauds that happen on reality television. LaVon, I love you. Thank you for joining us this evening. Your commentary is always on point, and we'll see you maybe tomorrow night. We'll be back here, same time, same place, spilling more tea. You have a great evening.
You too.
Bye.
Monica, can you see that Eddie's like a little embarrassed? Every time she brings up his family, he doesn't know what to say. He's very embarrassed. And then when he told her, she said, I think I'm going to give up my job. He said, you need to keep that job.
Yeah, so he can run around and do what he needs to do. I think she's worked a spell on him, to be quite honest. He seems like he can't even tie his own shoes sometimes, if you ask me. He seems to be walking in a cloud. You know, he smiles and laughs at everything she says. I wouldn't be shocked if she put she went to the Roots man and put something on him. I'm telling you.
I thought you were trying to
say it wouldn't shock me.
Well,
not that I believe in that mess.
You can't give her up that easy, because to give Wendy back to her family, he had to pay like money to marry her. And to give her back to her family, that would be very embarrassing to him and his culture. And then she got those 3 babies, and you don't know what she would do. He would have to pay a lot of child support. So he's just staying there. But Eddie might act like that with Wendy, but y'all will see.
Monica, I think this is you're queen of this type of tea, so I think you need to start like a series, like how VH1 used to have Behind the Music. You can have all about the tea behind the housewives. If we do Bell Collective, Behind the Bells, girl. All the tea you get about their background, that is wonderful.
You know what? And this is why I don't show myself on camera. I am spilling very highly classified tea. The kind of tea that Bravo and all these people don't want to get out. And I understand it. But y'all don't pay my bills. Let's keep that in mind, because I know you're listening. You don't pay my bills, so you can't tell me what to do. So that's why I choose to remain private in a sense. But you do have a piece of me. You have my voice. My neighbors know what I sound like.
I bet your name.
Neighbors know you.
Thank God
Let me
they
leave
live
that alone.
far
That's
away.
wrong.
Thank God I'm on some land and we got some good distance between us. So they probably don't even know, but hey, it is what it is. But as long as I'm breathing and alive, I will continue to do this work for the teacups. Y'all deserve it. And then some. So
I want to say this one last thing. Y'all better be careful because next season, Karen's been holding these cards. Karen is ready to slap her with these things. She didn't want to do it all this season. But Karen is holding some cards on all those tricks. Trust me.
Come on,
Yeah.
Karen.
Well, come on with it, Karen. I mean, last season, the fight was all anyone. It pretty much dominated the season and took over from a lot of other storylines. Karen, now's your opportunity. But I just wanted to clear her name on this live. She didn't lie. She really does not know that woman from a hole in the wall. Just like, who was that girl? Was it not Kayla Pratt? But who was that girl that said, I don't know.
Keke Palmer.
Keke Palmer. I don't know this man. I've never seen this man. That is
Mariah pulled that with J-Lo. I don't know that woman.
I don't know her.
I wish her well.
I don't know her. And she's a scammer. Who wants to be associated with someone that behaves and moves like a snake, unethical, always trying to be seen, be heard? Like you said, Ples, I wish she had used her education and her intelligence to naturally fit in. Let people love you. And if they don't, they just don't. Move on. Stay socially awkward at home in front of the TV. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I work at the John Hopkins. Oh, okay, good for you. Good for you.
She doubled down on that
didn't show us any of her culture, really. We didn't even see her culture, but that
she
little
don't know her culture, Marcella. Someone asked her and her husband, so what tribe, specifically, what part of the tribe because I forgot the name of the tribe they come from, but they asked them specifically in Africa, what sector of the tribe? They didn't know. They don't know. They don't go to Nigeria. They don't go to Africa. They don't know it. That's why we bring Vivian on so we can see real Nigeria. I want the cameras to follow her to Nigeria. I want to see it.
And somebody got some money. Shoot, sick of these broke people on TV. Shoot.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring Carolina on. Hey, Carolina.
Hey.
Hello.
Hi, my love.
You know
How are you?
I'm good. I was on call this evening, so that's why I'm still up. But I'm good. Listen, I already said it before, yeah. With Wendy, she's ghetto. I said it. She's ghetto. She's got an image to protect. She's going to university. She's, brooking down in the club and doing all shady stuff on the weekend. So to hear that she is lying and stealing and out here in the streets doing all this madness, it just entertains me. I find it hilarious. Like, the next level for me is to find out she's selling coochie and she's got a couple of hoes on the streets or something. Like, nothing would surprise me with her is my point. Nothing would surprise me with her at all. She's just shady. And I'm glad that we know that Karen wasn't lying, not that we doubted it anyway, because Karen is just real like that. I think with her defending Candice so much, obviously Candice doesn't know her either. And it was a situation where when the altercation happened, she had to defend Candice because she didn't want Candice to spill the tea. If she wouldn't have defended Candice and been in the middle, then Candice would have aired that out ages ago. She would have threw her under the bus and said, we didn't know you and all of this stuff. She would have went on social media and had a rant about it and everyone would have known ages ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think. With the whole culture thing, like, in loads of the cultures, in Africa they do juju, in Jamaica they call it obia and all of this stuff. So not that I'm saying she's involved in that or anything, but when something happens in your family line, and it could be generations ago, it stays with you all of that time. So if you know, if the allegations are true that her side of the family is cursed, that may have been from like her grandparents or aunties or uncles, and it carries on the bloodline. And it also creates massive pressure on the future generations to kind of not necessarily break the curse, but to elevate above it and to constantly prove themselves. So if there is truth in that, that would explain why she's always throwing out, I've got these 4 degrees, and talks about status a lot. Because I know a lot of Nigerians. I'm not Nigerian, I'm Jamaican, but I know a lot of Nigerians, and, you know, education is important to them. And being a good role model within the family dynamics is important to them. But the way she does it is a whole nother level. It's a whole nother level. When they talk about education and status and stuff, they are genuine within that. It's a genuine need for kind of like living within what your actual status is an achievement, whereas she's just fake. So yeah, she's just fake all over. She's just ratchet, isn't she? Really, she's just faking it. And you know, Eddie's probably got poor wife back in Nigeria that he hasn't seen for 10 years or something. You know, it's just the way it is. She just needs to be more real. But I think with it all being exposed and stuff, like obviously a lot more people are going to talk about it, and there's going to be speculation. Maybe she'll be forced into a situation where she has to kind of readdress herself and show a bit more of the reality of her life instead of the image that she's trying to put out there.
Very well said, as always, Carolina. Yes, you're absolutely right. I think if Wendy did play the middle, you're probably right. Candace probably would have attacked her for not having her back 100% like she did Karen.
Yeah, definitely. Candace is definitely one of those, like, we've all had a friend at some point, yeah, like when we was younger, and you have like a wider circle of friends, not really your friends, but we've all had a friend at some point that rides for you hard, and then the minute you disagree with them, they want to air out all your business. So, you know, you might have told them at some point, you know, I'm in a relationship, but I've kissed my work colleague or whatever it is. You know, you've got a little secret and you've shared it with your friend thinking you trust them, and they'll keep it for years. But the minute that you tell them that they're in the wrong for something or disagree with a situation, they're quick to turn around and say, go to your partner and tell them what you did, or go to other people and start chatting out your business. And that's Candace. So as long as Wendy's on her side, she will keep those secrets. But if Wendy would have stood in the middle, like Karen tried to do, look at how she attacked Karen. If Wendy would have stood in the middle, she would have thrown her under the bus and aired out all of her business.
Yeah, good points. Good points. Does anyone want to chime in on the panel on this?
Well, you know, with her concern, the bastard hound, she should have just basically, been on the bastard hound side and then not thrown daggers at Karen, because Karen knows way more than Candace does. Now, Candace might throw out the little kitty stuff, but Karen holds the grown woman stuff. And go ahead. I'm sorry.
I agree. That's true, but at the same time, she's been watching the show, so she knows that Karen is a big woman that is got a lot more class about her and isn't as petty like that. But she knows that Candace is volatile and toxic, so she knows the reaction that Candace would have straight away. She knows that that's a danger zone. So she kind of had to go with that.
They both toxic.
Oh,
you know what they say? Keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer. That's what she did.
She sure did.
Yep.
Thank you, Caroline, so much, my love. You are beautiful inside and out. And I know you stay up really late over there. You know, Caroline's a teacup from the UK. What time is it?
It's 2:48, but I'm going to be up all night anyway because I'm on call. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I'm on call tonight, I can get rest tomorrow. Fine.
Okay.
I'm off tomorrow.
All right. Well, hugs and kisses to you, and I'm glad that we can guide you through the night and make it go by a little bit faster.
Yes, it's definitely making it go faster.
Good. Have a great day at work, honey. Bye.
Thank you. Take care.
All right, y'all. We're gonna wrap this up in a nice bow. Plez, how can they find you?
Hey, y'all can find me at scared period beautiful on Instagram, and scared of beautiful, no periods, just spaces on YouTube. And I should have my content launching by the end of the month. Thank you.
I can't wait. Schoolboy, how can they find you?
Oh, well, there's many different places you can find me. My favorite place is Twitter at @school_boy. My Twitter is lit.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can find me on Instagram, school_boy 2021. And then of course, on my YouTube channel, which I have 4 videos up so far, which y'all can check it out a little bit and subscribe at school_boy.
Please subscribe to Schoolboy's channel. She's an amazing, entertaining individual. She cracks me up. Bishop, how can they find you?
You can find me on YouTube at The Bishop with 2 E's. And you can find me on IG and Twitter at Bishop Red Pill. And I'm going to put a button on it.
Okay. Sounds good. Y'all go ahead and find the Bishop. Please subscribe to his channel. Marcella, how can they find you?
I just started a YouTube page called Speak With Your Girl, Marcella. I need subscribers to make my first video, but I do have a Facebook page. It's all the housewives discussion, and I go up there every day for tea time. And I just don't talk about the housewives. I talk about, mental health, things you can do for relaxation. And y'all can check me out. All the housewives discussion on Facebook. Marcella Speaks on Instagram. And you can also find me on all Talk with Your Girl, Marcella, on YouTube.
Marcella is a fabulous, wonderful person, a friend, a mother. Please go follow her and give her support. And she cracks you, right? Isn't she funny? She cracks us up. I just love her. I love her spirit. Okay, y'all. Subscribe to the channel. Like I say, if you're not subscribed, down below, hit that subscribe button, please. And if you're already subscribed, bang that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of this piping hot tea. And while you're at it, hit that like button. Those likes help us out so much. Teacups, thank you for tuning in tonight. I love you all. Mods, thank you for holding down the chat. Everyone that sent in a Cash App or super chat, thank you. Thank you so much for helping us keep the lights on. I want y'all to stay safe, be blessed. We'll be back here tomorrow. Same time, same place, 8 p.m. Eastern, spilling more hot piping tea. Bye, y'all.
Hey,
Bye.
Wakanda.